What a wild Sunday across Major League Baseball. 3 walk-offs, a couple extra innings games, and a doubleheader destruction by the Yankees. Let's talk about it on MLB Game Night.
When that final out is made, you know it's time for Locked On MLB Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. Prepare to experience game day reactions like never before. Only on Locked On MLB Game Night. Your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into MLB Game Night for Sunday, April 27th. This is your source of news, notes, updates on all of the action across Major League Baseball in only the way that Locked On MLB can provide. I'm your host, Lindsey Crosby. You can follow me on social media at Crosby Baseball. I'm the host of the Locked On Braves postcast. That's John Fresh, one half of the Super Halo Bros, host of Locked On Angels. Before we get started, today's episode is brought to you by our friends at Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller are required. John, we had a bunch of walk-offs today.
No kidding.
Where do you want to start?
I think we got to start with Mets and Nationals because the Nationals shocked everyone in that stadium with that 8-7 walk-off win. Considering the Mets have been a powerhouse, I think it's kind of fun that the Nationals, took one against a division rival. They're a lot of fun to watch, Lindsey. I'm really enjoying watching those Nationals.
Not only have the Mets been a powerhouse this season, they were a powerhouse in this game. They batted around in the first inning off of Mitchell Parker, 5 runs, but the Nationals put up 7 of their own in the final 3 innings, including 2 of them in the bottom of the 9th. We've got a quick little video, quick little tape here from Ryan Clary of Locked On Nationals talking about
walked on.
There you go. I've got NFL in my head. I've got NFL in my head right now of Locked On Nationals talking about their victory and kind of how everything went down there in the night.
What an insane game here at Nationals Park. I was right here for the action, for a walk-off hit, 5 runs in the first inning. What a game. This Nationals team at this point, it's giving 2019 vibes, but let's not get it twisted all too much. The Washington Nationals are not winning the World Series, but still, oh my God, that 9th inning, what a performance by this team. I'm Ryan Clary from Locked On Nationals here. It is a windy day here at the ballpark. It was filled with Mets fans, but an unbelievable win. The Nationals get the win. They take 2 of 3 against the New York Mets. What a series, what a win. Let's talk about it on Locked On Nationals, tomorrow's show.
They're going to talk about it tomorrow. They're not done yet, though. It's a wraparound series. The finale, 4:05 tomorrow. Griffin Canning versus Trevor Williams. Before we hear from Ryan Finkelstein of Locked On Mets, the bullpen was the issue here. Jose Butto, 3 hits, 3 runs in the 7th. Ryan Stanek took his 2nd blown save of the year in the 9th. Are you concerned about the Mets bullpen?
Well, considering, it feels like you can't really trust anybody at the end of that bullpen right now. I know Edwin Diaz has continued to have some struggles, and
AJ Minter's hurt.
Right. And Ryan Stanek is somebody that they brought in to not have these struggles. So for him to have his 2nd blown save and loss is unfortunate. 2 things, though. Number one, now that Ryan was there to witness that walk-off in person, he's going to have to go to every Nationals home game now, right? Like, he's going to be like, that's the learning lesson here. He's the good luck charm. Second, the stadium was full of Mets fans. What the heck? They must travel really well if they're hanging out in DC, right?
DC to New York's not that far away. Really?
Okay.
Why not? There's probably a train. No, knowing how things work, there's probably a train or something like that. I wonder if Ryan Finkelstein was there. Let's see what he has to say about this one and kind of his thoughts on how this went.
Yeah, let's get to Ryan on the losing side here, unfortunately for Ryan, but we'll get to him right now.
All season long, the New York Mets have been carried by their bullpen, but at some point, that bullpen was going to falter. And we're watching it happen right now in Washington, D.C., as the Mets have blown 2 late leads to the Nationals, as they now are on the verge of losing the 4-game set. This is Ryan Finkelstein, the host of Locked On Mets. What made this game more frustrating, it's not just that they blew a lead in the 9th inning. It's the fact that they were winning 5-0 in the first, and 7-1 going into the bottom of the 7th inning, and yet they lose the game. Jose Budo had a brutal inning in the 7th. I blame Carlos Mendoza a little bit because Budo has been absolutely awful whenever he comes in with runners on base. So either give him a clean inning or don't pitch him at all. And that's really what cost the Mets as Budo gives up an inherited run again, or maybe 2. But overall in the inning, 5 runs come across. That puts the Mets in position to have to hold a 1-run lead. And they just didn't get the job done. I'll be talking about all this and more on tomorrow's edition of Locked On Mets.
I do feel the need to point
all
out
season long
that there was a throwing error from Pete Alonso there in that final play. Another game that was decided on 2 throwing errors. Rangers at Giants, 3-2 walk-off. Heliot Ramos gets the Little League inside the park home run because
he does
2 different throwing errors on the same play. They only had 5 hits in the game. He had 2 of them, but he runs all the way around the bases for the win. Just absolutely absurd there. I think we've got something from Ben Kaspick. I'm curious to hear. He's a very analytical guy. I'm curious to hear if he is ecstatic that the luck broke their way, or if he's kind of thinking about how statistically they didn't deserve to win.
Right. A win's a win, baby. Let's see what Ben has to say.
The Giants' hot start to the 2025 season has officially reached the point of absurdity. This is Ben Kaspick with the Locked On Giants podcast. They win today on a Little League home run in the bottom of the 9th inning with Heliot Ramos hitting a little dribbler to the pitcher and coming all the way around to score on 2 throwing errors. It was the Giants' 5th walk-off win of the season that leads the major leagues. They also had a walk-off win yesterday. They have 10 home wins, and 5 of them are of the walk-off variety. They're 19-10 on the season. They gave up 2 runs in the first inning, Jordan Hicks, and as has been a theme, some early runs maybe, but then shut down the rest of the way. Hayden Birdsong was fantastic in relief, 3 scoreless innings, and this Giants team, like, they're just finding different ways to win. It's just a ton of fun when you see walk-offs like that. I mean, what better way to finally go into an off day after 17 straight games? So we'll get to break this fun series down tomorrow on Locked On Giants, where it's your team every day.
To his point, both of the runs for the Rangers score in the first inning. They had 10 hits, but only the 2 runs. Shout out to Jock Peterson. He got his batting average over 100. He's batting 101 now. He had a terrible start to the year.
Yeah, awesome.
But Luke Jackson took that 3rd loss again. Come back into the pitcher. He throws it away. The first baseman, Jake Berger, throws it away. Try to catch him at 3rd. It's a whole thing there. Bryce Patrick of Locked On Rangers. I love Bryce.
Same.
I am a little scared to, I asked him to send us this video. I am scared to see what it sounds like, but let's roll the tape and see how devastated Bryce is about this one.
Really? That you did that on purpose? Do you feel good about that? Because I don't. That's one of the worst losses I've ever seen. Are you kidding me? I didn't realize it was Little League Day out in San Francisco. What a horrific way to lose a baseball game. No, the dumbest way I've ever seen to lose a baseball game. And I've seen a lot of really dumb ways to lose a baseball game. Are you kidding me? No, you're not. That's real. Awesome. Love it here.
I need to text him and apologize for that. I feel really bad about asking him to send us that. This is, listen, things are looking up. They get to go to Sacramento to take on the A's.
Yeah.
But just, I'm sorry. No, they host their A's in their own house. My bad. But I kind of feel bad for Bryce after how that one went.
Well, and you think about Jack Leiter only went, into the 4th inning, and him and I know Kumar Rocker is hurt right now. There are 2 guys that, big names that you drafted to be a huge part of your pitching staff. And for him to throw 76 pitches, I believe, in that short amount of time, just a couple of pitching skids right there for sure.
Yeah. Another one that ended not a walk-off, but did go extra innings here. White Sox and A's, 3-2 win by the White Sox in 10. This is really funny here. They got a leadoff home run in the first. The A's got a single and a double in the first to tie it at 1, and no one scored again until 9 innings later.
Oof.
The winning side, hang on, we should have Todd Welter of the White Sox. They won. We'll let him talk a little bit about how they managed to work it out in the 10th inning here.
Sox lost for a lot of reasons, so I don't want to completely single out Andrew Vaughn, but he played a huge role in why the defeat happened. Also, not having a closer worked against Chicago, too. Hello, I'm Todd Welter, host of Locked On White Sox, and the White Sox lost 3-2 in 10 innings to the Athletics. Andrew Vaughn, whose season starting slump is now at a 152, 202, 275 slash line, had a huge base running gaffe in the 6th inning. When he charged for home on a hard hit ball by Lenyn Sosa, Jacob Wilson easily snags the bouncing ball and throws a dart to home to catch Vaughn in a rundown, and that gaffe prevented the Sox from taking the lead. Then, when the White Sox actually grabbed the lead in the 10th inning with the chance to pile on some more runs, he grounds into an inning-ending double play. He continues to not be clutch with an average under 200 with runners in scoring position, although to be fair, the entire lineup was not clutch, as it went 1 for 10 with runners in scoring situations. Jordan Leisure, who has been inconsistent when it comes to getting big outs, gave up the walk-off 2-run blast to Luis Urias. White Sox pitching has already blown 3 saves and 10 leads.
He covered the whole thing. I mean, the White Sox, the White Sox just couldn't figure it out. The personnel's a little iffy. That didn't quite work out. In just a minute, let's get to Phillies Cubs. That was another walk-off today. We'll do that next, right here on MLB Game Night. But first, today's episode is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are here. We're not talking about that. We're talking about MLB. Listen, FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. There are games every single day. Tomorrow's schedule, not a full slate, but you've got 8 games to pick from. So go into FanDuel. Betting is incredibly easy. You can pick your favorite team. You can dive into player props. You take the projections of what a guy is supposed to do. You pick higher or lower. Combine multiple guys into a parlay. So many ways to bet your favorite player props. So don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. Okay, John. Phillies Cubs on Sunday Night Baseball. 10 innings, 3-1 victory by the Phillies. Took the rubber match, took the series. The starting pitching delivered. Aaron Nola versus Jameson Taillon. They were fantastic. This game was 1-1 in the 10th. And then from there, it just got wild. Phillies loaded the bases. Alec Boehm had a sac fly. Trey Turner hit a single. Vidal Brujan tried to gun him down and just couldn't do it. Jordan Romano came in for the save and didn't blow it for once. We've heard Connor Thomas complain so much about this Phillies bullpen.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear if he has anything positive to say about the bullpen in this one, since they were able to hold on for the extra innings victory.
Yeah, a lot of talk about possibly tipping pitches from Jordan Romano. So let's see what Connor has to say from the winning side in the Phillies.
The Philadelphia Phillies find a hard-fought series win in Chicago. I'm Connor Thomas, your host of Locked On Phillies, and it was a battle tonight, honestly. Great pitching performances out of Jameson Taillon and Aaron Nola. I mean, they were dominant. It wasn't even a lot of strikeouts for the Phillies offense today. They just were hitting the ball at guys and were not creating offense until you got into the later innings, and they battled their way into extras. And then in extras, they had some great patience at the dish, a great approach again from this team. And believe it or not, right, following up Aaron Nola's great start, bullpen was solid for the Phillies, and Jordan Romano with a great save secured in extra innings. And all of a sudden, the Phils have won 2 straight after snapping a 5-game losing streak. Can they build momentum? Well, they got a perfect off day to rest everybody and then get back after it. We feel a lot better, I think, coming out of this weekend than we did heading into it. We'll talk on the next episode of Locked On Phillies.
I have to admit, I'm proud of him for the growth of not talking bad about his bullpen. He admitted it was good from Jordan Romano. It wasn't luck. It was good from Jordan Romano. I'm curious if Sam Olver of Locked On Cubs has the same approach to this one or not. So, because this has to be a little frustrating for him, simply because I mean, Pete Crow Armstrong doubled in the first run pretty early in this game, and they just
Right.
couldn't scratch anything else across.
Yeah, and then they kind of lost all momentum, even when they had the ghost runner on second in extra innings. Couldn't really do anything against Jordan Romano. Again, a lot of talk about, maybe he was tipping pitches earlier this season, but he had a couple of sliders in there that they obviously didn't know were coming and got Michael Busch to strike out on one of those. So, yeah, let's check out what Sam has to say from the Cubs side.
What are the Chicago Cubs' biggest problems? Third base and the bullpen walking too many hitters. I'm Sam Olber from Locked On Cubs, and the Cubs just lost a ball game because their bullpen walked too many hitters and their third baseman made a critical mistake late in the game. Yes, they did not score enough runs today, but to be fair to the offense, they hit the ball well. It was a tough day to hit. They had a lot of bad luck offensively. They were right in this game. This was a bullpen game. This was going to be who makes the mistake, not who wins it, but who loses it. And Julian Merriweather came on, walked 3 batters, and then when he was about to escape with just 1 run let up, Vidal Brujan laid back on a ground ball with the speedy Trey Turner, and he beat it out, and the Cubs couldn't do anything in the 10th. Another tough Sunday extra innings loss. Cubs lose their first series at Wrigley this year, and it's going to be tough because they're going to have to deal with Skeens and Heaney in Pittsburgh, and this was a tough one. This was a tough loss. Saturday, not too tough. This was a tough one. Locked On Cubs is about to talk all about it tonight, tomorrow, and then we'll preview the Pirates series, so make sure to catch us.
Yeah, that's I feel bad about him there. We don't have starters. I hope you get Skeens versus Shota Imanaga. I don't know why I want to see that so much. They're off on Monday, but I want to see Skeens versus we saw Skeens versus Yamamoto. Let's just keep doing that same theme. Skeens versus Imanaga. Let's do it.
Yeah, and I'm not feeling so bad about Heaney dominating my Halos the other night, because apparently he's a force to be reckoned with across the league. If Sam is worried about his Cubs against Heaney, then I feel a little bit better about the fact that the Angels just couldn't get anything going against him this
The
past
team that
week.
scored the most runs in baseball is nervous about facing Andrew Heaney. Makes you feel good. I like that.
Yeah.
That's positive thinking. Teams that scored plenty of runs today. Marlins at Mariners. 7-6 for the Mariners. Marlins tried. They rallied in the 8th. But just too much for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh, JP Crawford both homered. And this is something Agustin Ramirez continues his torrid call-up. 2 for 5. 2 solo homers as the DH. Connor Norby had that 3-run homer in the 8th. He was a part of the return when they sent someone up to the Orioles last year. Totally is working out for them so far. And Max Meyer took the loss. 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, only like 4 walks and 6 strikeouts. He had such a great outing last time out.
He's so up and down so far, but man, I think there's just so much promise in Max Meyer that it's hard to resist, the fact that, when he's good. And then he'll have a start like this where, not the worst start in the world, but a short one, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 Ks. Those walks are going to come back to bite you, especially against a team like the Mariners.
And the hard thing here is Miami's not off tomorrow. They have to go to LA to take on the Dodgers. So they roll right into another series, one where you're probably going to need plenty of pitching. Before we get out of this one, I think we have some words from Ty Dane Gonzalez about how this one went. I'm curious to hear how excited he is about this victory and taking this one at home.
What gets thrown at them, this Mariners ball club just refuses to skip a beat. This is Ty Dane Gonzalez, host of the Locked On Mariners podcast here. Mariners beat the Marlins 7-6 this afternoon to clinch their 6th consecutive series victory, which is an absolutely insane thing to say out loud, considering just how many things have gone wrong for this ball club to start the year. They lose the first game in each of the last 4 series. It didn't matter. They've lost Victor Robles and Ryan Bliss, and George Kirby hasn't pitched for them yet, and they lose Logan Gilbert on Friday, and it's just been next man up, with the latest being Logan Evans today, making his major league debut, giving you 5 strong innings, striking out 3, bouncing back well after giving up that home run in the first inning. And that's just kind of like the epitome of this team, right? They are incredibly resilient, and that's exactly why they're in the position that they're in right now. 16-12, one of the hottest teams in baseball, and now they find themselves all alone at the top of the American League West. I'm really looking forward to hearing what questions you guys have for us on Mailbag Monday. Talk to you on the Locked On Mariners podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Peace.
We've got a couple not games that weren't that close, right? That I want to kind of rapid fire through real quick. I'm going to save the Braves game. That was a little closer. We'll save that for the next segment. But Red Sox Guardians 13-3 by Boston. And again, not that close. Jaron Duran goes 4 for 6. Romy Gonzalez steals home. I feel like it's only Ellie De La Cruz and Red Sox players that steal home right now. But they do that. Christian Campbell, 2 for 4, 2 walks, scores 4 runs. Ceddanne Rafaela, 2 for 4, 5 RBI, has a 3-run home run in the 7th. It's the young guys for Boston keep doing it. Brian Bello, 6 innings pitched, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. They just keep rolling on the strength of the youth. Cleveland's youth. Logan Allen got shelled. 7 runs, 9 hits. Not a good look.
Yeah, every single pitcher gives up at least 1 earned in this one. Austin Hedges pitched in the 9th. That's how bad of a game.
He's a catcher, John.
Right, exactly. So that's how badly it went for the Guardians. But them's the rules and them's the breaks, right? You got to be up 8 or down 8. So that's what they ended up doing there. So the Guardians are going to host the Twins. Boston has the day off tomorrow. So a little bit of an AL Central matchup between the Guardians and the Twins, who picked up a few games against my Angels. We'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yep. Next one here, Brewers Cardinals. Another not close game, 7-1 Brewers. Brewers had 3 in the first, 4 more in the 4th. Every starter recorded a hit here. Here's the thing, John. It could have been worse. The Brewers were 6 of 17 with runners. They had 17 at-bats with runners in scoring position. This could have been so much worse. Jose Quintana, 1 earned run, 5 innings. I don't know how the Brewers keep doing this.
Yeah.
The Brewers just keep finding pitching. They catcher devil magic. All of this stuff just works for them. Flip side, Eric Fetty, 5 2/3, 10 hits, 7 earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He looked so good against the Braves last week. I don't know what happened here, but it's just more bad luck for the Cardinals. JD Hafford, he'll be on this show tomorrow. He's your new co-host for the first half of the week. Hopefully he is a little happier about doing this than he is about having to do Locked On Cardinals the next couple of days.
Yeah, exactly. How about Blue Jays and Yankees? They had a doubleheader going, in today's games, 11-2 in the first one, and the Yankees over the Blue Jays 5-1 in game 2. So they sweep the doubleheader. Listen to this, Lindsay. The Yankees combined for 21 hits, 16 runs, and 4 home runs. Aaron Judge went 3 for 8. He's only batting .406 this season.
His batting average came down after going only 3 for 8. It's absurd.
It's ridiculous. All 9 Yankees starters scored a run in game 1. So that tells you how that first game went. Clark Schmidt, 5 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned, 4 walks and 6 Ks. And then Max Fried did Max Fried things, as you are very familiar with.
I miss you, Max Fried.
6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks and 3 Ks. Luke Weaver gets the only save opportunity of the doubleheader. Devin Williams was moved to a lower leverage situation. And then Kevin Gossman went 2 2/3 innings pitched, got tossed. And as he's barking back to the umpire, he slipped down the steps in the dugout. So
insult to injury, literally.
Yeah, exactly. Just not a great way to go out. So John Schneider said, you know what? I'm gonna pick him up. And then he got himself ejected from the game as well.
At that point, just enjoy the rest of the day off.
Right, exactly.
Toronto had this coming. They went 2 for 17 with runners in scoring position. That's your bad. You had opportunities to score. You just didn't do it.
Right. 2 for 17. I mean, you're talking about 6 for 17 with the Brewers, but 2 for 17. Woof.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities and just couldn't make it happen. All right. In just a second, I want to talk about Pirates Dodgers because this is a surprisingly good series.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit explosive here, including a prominent injury. We'll do that next, right here on MLB Game Night.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Game Time. There's nothing better than catching your favorite baseball team live and in person. You hear the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, the smell of the ballpark food. And if you're looking to go last minute, Game Time makes getting tickets easier than ever. They got last minute deals, all in pricing, lowest price guarantee. They take the stress out of buying MLB tickets. Plus, as the game gets closer, the ticket prices come down as well. So you can score an incredible deal if you're the kind of person who likes to, ride that wire a little bit, have that balancing act of, should I pay now? Should I pay now? So, that you could bet on good ticket prices with Game Time. Now, I took a friend of mine to Angels Giants because he's a Giants fan. I'm an Angels fan. We had a great time, and I used Game Time to get my tickets to the game. Wanted to see Trout in right field, so we got right field seats. Unfortunately, Jorge Soler played right field that night, and Trout DH that night, so I was a little bit bummed about that. But it's great when it comes to getting last-minute tickets with Game Time. They have the Game Time Picks feature. It makes finding the best deals effortless. I got a great deal on my seats, even though I didn't get to watch Mike Trout in right field. They filter out the fluff and highlight the top discounts across the stadium. You get a preview of what your seat looks like before you buy, and you can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
All right, John. Challenge here. We have 7 games left, and we've got about 7 minutes. You think we can do this?
I'm in, dude. Let's do it.
All right. Pirates at Dodgers. 9-2 LA in this one. Worked out really well. 4 runs in the first. They picked up 3 more in the 5th. Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages both hit homers. And this is something they needed to have a good offensive day. Tyler Glasnow left after 1 inning with shoulder discomfort. It's not forearm issue, but it's still pretty scary. Shoulders are scary for a pitcher. Ben Kasperius came out of the pen with no notice. 3 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts, no runs. Flip side of this, for the Pirates, Bailey Falter got shelled. 4 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Despite the efforts of Andrew McCutchen, 4 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Adam Frazier went 2 for 4. Didn't matter. So Dodgers are going to host the Marlins. We mentioned that earlier. Pirates are off tomorrow. They need the break because they won 1 out of 3 in LA.
Yeah, and that was a skiing start too, by the way, and he shut out those Dodgers. How about the Rays and the Padres? 4-2 Rays. They sweep the San Diego Padres. Chandler Simpson, a 3 for 4 day, 2 runs scored and an RBI. Taylor Walls gets his first home run of the year. He's a new trade acquisition, of course. Travis Jankowski, 2 for 4 after starting for Christopher Morel in left field. Zach Littell, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk and 1 K. 4 scoreless and hitless from the bullpen in relief after Zach Littell. The Padres only had 5 hits, and they were just singles. Not going to get the job done, especially with the kind of offense we know the Padres can have. Robert Suarez gave up 2 hits and a run in a non-save situation in the 9th. So about the Tampa Bay Rays, all of a sudden, beating one of the best teams in baseball with a sweep. Incredible.
There's something about a closer to non-save situation that just never works out.
I don't do it.
I don't get it. It's wild. He had to throw. They lost all 3 games. They had to use him eventually, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Reds at Rockies. 8-1 Reds. So plenty of offense like you would expect in Colorado, but only from the road team. Nick Lodolo had a no-hitter into the 6th. 2 outs in the 6th inning. They finally lose it. I believe the play had to be reviewed to figure out if it was a hit or not.
Right.
But the win pushes Colorado to 4-23. This is the 4th worst start through 27 games in Major League Baseball history. 6 different Reds had a multi-hit game. Novi Marte goes 3 for 5, 3 RBI. And it doesn't get easier for Colorado because they have to host the Braves starting tomorrow. The Reds get to host the Cardinals. So Colorado goes out of the frying pan into the fire.
Right.
They still have another tough team with a lot of red in their logo. That's a bird coming into town.
There's always one team every season. I mean, 2 years ago it was the A's. Last year was the White Sox. This year, looking like the Rockies. I know. I feel bad for those guys because they just have a beautiful ballpark. Rockies fans certainly deserve better, including Paul Holden over there at Locked On Rockies. How about Orioles Tigers? Shut out the Orioles. The Tigers 7-0. Tariq Skubal does Tariq Skubal things, Lindsay. As always, 6 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, and just 4 hits. The Tigers were 5 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Javi Baez got it started.
Newly minted center fielder Javi Baez.
I know. I had to do a double take when I was looking up the stats, and I went, what? Center field? All right, I'll take it. Heston Kjerstad for the Orioles wore the old golden sombrero with 4 strikeouts, 0 for 4 in this one. The Tigers are headed to Houston. The Orioles are going to host the Yankees. Orioles, man, they just got to do something to get back on track. I know they played a tough team in the Tigers, but it's not the start that they were looking for to 2025.
It's absolutely not. We're going to let you double up here so you can get your Angels if you want to, or do you not want to talk about the Angels right
Good
now?
grief. I'll talk about the Angels. And of course, my brother Mike and I host Locked On Angels, but they were swept and shut out on Sunday by the Twins. The Twins complete the sweep of the Angels. It started as a pretty good pitching matchup. Joe Ryan, 7 innings pitched, just 1 walk and 11 strikeouts. And that's been the issue for
Andrew
the Angels.
Heaney type stuff there.
Yeah, exactly. All the strikeouts the Angels have been swinging themselves into. And Jose Soriano is somebody that I really like. I think a lot of people across baseball really like him. He got the start for the Angels, had a good start, only 1 earned to start this game, but then gave it away in the 6th inning. Correa singled, Trevor Larnach reached on an error, and then Ty France doubled to left to knock out Soriano out of the game. The Angels offense is absolutely anemic right now, and they are playing a brand of baseball that they were not playing to start the season. You know, maybe some singles, some doubles, maybe some sacrifice flies, Lindsay, because all the strikeouts in my eyes are just them trying to swing for the fences. We joke about the A button approach, meaning you push the same button to swing every time when you're playing the show and you're just, pushing the power swing button. That's what the Angels look like right now, and that's why they look so ugly right now.
Just gotta put the ball in play and make a defense do some work.
Right.
Right. Like the Twins defense has struggled a little bit this year. Make them do some work. Final game here, Astros at Royals, 7-3 Astros. Royals were rolling. They had like a 5-game win streak. Won the first 2 games of the series 2-0. Astros salvaged it with the win. The difference in this one, Yordan Alvarez, 3-run homer. So there's your stud. Jeremy Pena, 3 RBIs. Yanye Diaz hits a solo shot. All of your guys that you were counting on to perform actually performed. You need Yordan to do Yordan things. And then Hunter Brown. Listen, I've always been a big Hunter Brown guy going back to the prospect pod I did. 6 innings, 9 strikeouts, 1 run, 7 hits. First earned run he's allowed since April 3rd.
Right.
6 quality starts in a row. That is a fantastic streak. The Astros get the Tigers in the ice box, Daikon Park, tomorrow. The Royals are off. We've got about 30 seconds left, John. Final thoughts about the slate of games today.
Yeah, you mentioned it with the Astros. If the Astros are going to do anything, it's going to be on the back of Yordan Alvarez, who, of course, had a slow start to the season. Perhaps he's turning it around. I say this as an Angels fan. The Astros really need him to do Yordan things if they don't want to lose 2-0 to the Royals 2 days in a row, and that's why they ran away with it on Sunday. So, yeah, great slate of games today. Really fun to watch the end of the Sunday night baseball game. I know things kind of, went cool there for the Cubs, but there's just such great energy around Wrigley, around Cubs fans right now. So don't let the loss get you down. You guys have a really great team to roll with here in 2025. A lot of fun to watch right now.
Until next time, this has been MLB Game Night.